Mr. Throckmorton.
Thank you very much. This question is for Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, we heard Mr. Watson take all the gruff and the, I would say, insults. What would you do to Pine Mountain Club? It's not being done now.
That's a toughie, folks.
No, that's not a toughie. What I would do is represent Pine Mountain Club the same way everybody else in the 4th District would be represented, and that's equally. I would be up here on a regular basis talking to the community. If you don't walk out among your constituents, and I understand Mr. Watson says that after a certain time shaking hands doesn't do any good. I do not believe that. I believe you need to be out in every single community, listening to your constituents, understanding their problems and solving them. I am a hands-on person, and if I'm elected, you will see me early and often. I guarantee you that, and I don't take no for an answer.
Marcy?
Mr. Watson, you're the incumbent on the Board of Supervisors, and being that you've had the experience and you've been in the area and you know what our problems are, what do you project change if you are re-elected?
Well, I think the issues still are the issues of snow removal on the roads and getting some kind of paramedic service available for this area. And,
I'm talking about the whole mountain community.
About the whole mountain community? Well, let's start about some of the things that have already been done. In Fraser Park, we're going to be completing a streetscape project in the spring of this year.
You're going to pave the trails?
No, a streetscape project in the downtown community to put in sidewalks and lighting and curbs and gutters and landscaping to try to bring some business to the community. That's going to, I obtained about $1 million worth of funds to do that. We've got a new library going in there. We participated in the development of a skate park for the kids there. Participated in getting the Cody Foster Memorial for the community. We picked up about 200 abandoned vehicles in the community, had community cleanups. We're working on the restoration of Cuddy Creek with the federal government, committed $50,000 to match federal funds with the Forest Service to try to get a snow park so that people are not clogging up the roads coming up here, and to get people off of private property during times of snow. Unfortunately, the federal government doesn't have the funds to match us at this point. But I just last week converted a loan to the Fraser Park Utility District for improving their water system of $275,000 to a grant to them, which enables them to get a USDA loan to improve their water system. So I think they're more needy than this community because they're a lower income community, and I try to
these are problems that we've had in the past. What are you going to do about from here today forwards? What do you project that you can do to help the mountain communities in general?
Well, let's try to get the snow park finished. Let's get the library built. Let's get the downtown revitalized. Let's try to get some economic development here. Let's try to get the visitors kiosk that I instituted up here, the electronic visitor kiosk, so that it attracts more business to this area, so that we have more resources for everybody, more tax dollars, more revenues for the businesses here. That's what I would do.
Thank you.
Nita, and then we'll get to you.
I have a question for Cliff Thompson, and I'm not sure that, I asked earlier that I had an answer. Again, it has to do with change.
We've heard from Mr. Watson what he's doing and what he's projecting immediately, and I've heard you say that you're a hands-on person. Can you be more specific? What would you do once you are elected, if you were to be elected day one? what specifically would you put your hands on, so to speak?
I would put my hands on and around the issues. You have a cell phone tower issue, you have your emergency medical response issue along with the transportation issue. One of the other issues that I was surprised to find out, not necessarily in the Pine Mountain community, but in the Fraser community, is air quality. I am a huge proponent of air quality. While the incumbent, Mr. Watson, has been a huge proponent of dairies, currently, dairies are the #1 pollution producer in Kern County. And I would work against that. I also would work against and keep working for the overturned of Measure E. We had one judge in LA overturn what over 86% of the people in Kern County wanted, and to quit bringing those trucks across I-5. I think there's a school right next to I-5 that has specific air quality problems. I would fight those vigorously, working in conjunction with the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. That is a major concern to our community. Arvin has the worst air quality in the United States. We have to fix that. 20% of the children in Kern County have respiratory asthma problems. We have to turn that around. Some of that is not of our own doing, but some of it is, and it needs to be changed. And those are the things I would do now and change the way things are done in the full district.
Yeah. I would like to correct some of that information if I may. For number one, I'm not a
And you will be there.
Areas. There's 250,000 dairy cows in the 4th district. Those cows were there long before I was elected to office. There was one dairy that was approved by the board in the very first meeting that I attended, which had been in process for 4 years, and it complied with all of the rules and regulations that had been set by a former board of supervisors. Since then, there has not been one dairy permitted in Kern County. In fact, I asked them to do an environmental impact report that county-wide that would not allow any new dairies to be placed in Kern County unless they met certain criteria. That report has not been issued yet. As far as the air pollution in the mountain communities, 80% of the air pollution that comes into this area is from the trucks that go over I-5. They do not come from the dairies. Even the existing dairies in their current condition represent less than 5% of the air pollution in the valley. I also have been working with PG&E to get digesters on the dairies that already exist so that those fumes are collected and they are converted to electricity or to gas. And I'm currently working with PG&E to install systems that will allow them to buy the gas and generate additional revenues so that they can clean the dairies up even further. So I think you're misstating the record just a little bit, Mr. Thompson.
Well, I may be mistaken, but according to your campaign statements, you have taken huge contributions from the dairies in the past, and I would prefer to take none, and I will take none. What I can tell you, the other thing about dairies is water quality. If you go to the county of Riverside, there are huge amounts of salt in the urine of dairy cattle because of the way they're fed. That, in Riverside County, they have had to start pumping the water out, running it through a RO process to pull the salt back and pumping it back in the ground. Their aquifers are sometimes as deep as 150 feet. The aquifers between Taft and Bakersfield are less than 6. And currently on the books, I believe there are 3 new dairies proposed between Taft and Bakersfield. And I would adamantly oppose any new dairies.
There are a number of dairies that would like to come in, but they have not been addressed yet, and they will not be addressed until the environmental impact report is completed. But I will tell you that even now, Kern County has the most strict dairy regulation in the state of California.